So it's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to film another video, and I have to do this all before my assistant Daisha gets here. So I had a thought the other day, and I was like, I know this can't be me, so this has to be a good time to film another nail tech diary. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the struggles of a nail tech while I get ready right now. So, first and foremost, some of the things that have been crossing my mind that I'm like, I wonder if you guys can relate. I'm still, if you saw my other nail tech diary video, I'm still thinking about growth, thinking about what's next, what do I want to do. It's just been like this ongoing kind of battle that I've been like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And then when I can't figure it out, I'm like, all right, pause. I can't stress it anymore. I don't want to think about it anymore. So that's something that's still I've been thinking about. Is it time to leave my job? I don't really want to. Should I? All that stuff. If you want to catch up, I'll leave a link above. You can go watch that video where I talk to you guys about that part. But there's some other things that have been crossing my mind when it comes to, of course I bought the wrong foundation. I bought the one that's half empty. So some of the things that's been crossing my mind when it comes to struggling as a nail tech, that I definitely think other nail techs can figure it out and can sympathize and understand and relate when it comes to like your work-life balance. Like, I've been talking to a therapist about this, and this is just something I started seeing someone maybe like in June, and that was more for just like, everybody talks about therapy, and I'm like, let me see if I can actually benefit from it. I'm not one of those people that's against therapy. I wanted to see what it maybe could do for me. I've heard that like, oh, you might have to like, it took me a while to find my therapist, this and that. And I was like, let me just see like what it can do for me. So I started seeing a therapist, and we talk about a lot, you know, the first couple sessions. I had to like catch her up on my life, what I do and all that stuff like that. And lately we've been focused a lot on work. You know, she's been helping me kind of figure out what exactly do I want to do next, and this, and some of the things that I have going on in my mind. So can you guys relate to struggling between work life? As nail techs, we work a lot. I know when I was younger, I worked 6 days a week. Some of you guys I see posts, some of my students, they work 6 days a week. Some work 5 if they have the luxury, but for the most part, it's 6 days a week. And it's a lot. If you have kids, you have a family. Even if you don't have kids, you have family, you have a boyfriend. That's something that you struggle with, like finding the time, because you know, when we don't work, we don't make any money. So you can't be like, you know what, I'm gonna take every other weekend off because I want to spend time with my kids. And that sounds all nice and lovely, but like, yeah, you can't afford to do that all the time. So do you guys struggle with that work-life balance? I mean, sometimes I have moments, especially when my son was younger, and I was like, I feel like a bad mommy. Like, I feel like I'm not present. I feel like I'm doing this for him, but does he get that? Is he understanding that? Will he understand that? That was always just like a struggle. I want to, excuse me, make time for my business. I want to be at work. Again, this is when I was a little bit younger. He was a baby. I need to be at the shop, but I want to be with him. It wasn't until he was around like, maybe like 4, I started to leave the shop, and I was going to work in Manhattan, and I couldn't let it go. So I was actually doing both jobs, and I was working 7 days. And then my mom was like, you know, he misses you. Like, he's starting to really like see it and get it. And so that was a big struggle I had. Like, when do you stop and put one before the other? If you guys can relate, leave me a comment down below. I'm curious to know, how do you juggle your work-life balance? As I'm older, he's more aware. And if you don't know, I work 7 days a week. I teach 5 days a week. And while my day is short, I'm home by 3:30. I come here on the weekend and bust it out. So every single day, I have to get up. I have something to do. If I want a day off, I have to schedule a day off. School is obviously not as lenient because that's not my time. That's not my choice. But it's more on the weekend. But I have to like really sacrifice if I'm going to take a weekend off. So that's a problem that I have. So when do you stop and say, like, I don't want to work. I need to recuperate. I need to figure it out. And just all of that. That could be a little bit of a struggle. So I know you guys can relate when it comes to that, and struggling when it comes to work-life balance. Like, some people don't get it. Like, you know, I'm sure you have friends that have their normal job and they're like, oh, I have a day off. Yeah, it's a holiday, I got off. Yeah, it's this and that. Please, when it's a holiday, it's like, I especially needed to work when I was younger, because I'm like, that means everybody else is off, so they're gonna go get their nails done. I need to be working. There's no holidays, there's no paid vacation, there's no days off. You make your own schedule, yes, but if I do not show up, I do not make money. That is a big problem. And I don't think people that are not in this industry, they don't understand that. People that just clock in, clock out, they have their Saturday and Sunday to themselves, they can live their life. They don't understand that luxury that they have that we really don't. And that is a big thing, especially in the beginning as you are trying to build up your clientele. So, food for thought. Sorry if you see me looking at this. I have the tendency to look at me, even though I have a mirror. I'm looking not at the camera. Sorry. So, another thing that was on my mind is struggling financially. On that note, we all know as an nail tech, again, like I said, if you don't work, you don't make money. That's a problem. Or when you do work and you don't have nobody walk through that door, you don't make money. It's really hard. And again, I think I'm speaking from a younger me to the younger you. And struggling, having financial struggles. I'm not trying to say I don't have any financial struggles now. I do. Everybody does. Especially nowadays. Everybody's fucking broke. It's crazy. So, not working, not making money, it's very hard to save when you don't know how much you're going to make in a week. You could bust it out. I used to be in the shop 6 days a week. Some weeks were magnificent. Some weeks were horrible. There's some days I would sit in the shop, get there at 9 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have one person until like 4 o'clock when people were getting off of work, off of school, sitting there for hours and hours. If we count how long we sit and wait, especially those working in the shop can relate, how long you sit and wait versus how much you're actually working, where's the balance? And you're sitting there and you're like, shit, like, this is not cool. I need customers. I need to, you know, you can have your regulars, but like not everybody always gets to have their nails done. And especially now, because nails aren't done 2 weeks like they used to be when I was in the shop. People are coming 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Sometimes the ones you have those that drag it. But like, for the most part, you're seeing people once a month. So you need to have that steady flow of customers. It's very hard to save when you don't know how much you're gonna make. It was very, very hard. Again, for me, that was another reason I wanted to go back to teaching, because I'm like, I need something steady coming in, something that I could really bank on. Because while nails is fine and whatever, and it pays the bills, there doesn't really leave much, especially only working a couple days, it doesn't really leave much for the other things that I want. And I've done videos about that in the past and stressing to you guys about like saving and doing all this stuff. And I come from, again, a place of a younger me that I wish I had somebody telling me that, especially when you get cash. Cash goes so quick. I hate cash. So you want to make sure that you are saving. But again, it's really hard to save when you're like, okay, I got to pay my bills. You know, saving, it sounds great and all, but like I have to pay my bills and I don't really have that much to save. I'm going to stress saving, whether you are putting it in like a little book, doing the envelope thing. I tried that all and everything. It's the reality of you have that one bad week and then you're like, yeah, I got to dip into this because what am I supposed to do? Like ignore it? Like that's just not possible. Like if you got stuff to do, you got to feed your kids, you got to go to the store, like you got to dip into it. So having some type of restriction helps, but again, it's just that struggle of not knowing how much you're going to make, especially commission, this, that. A lot of you guys out there are renting. You know, you have to pay your booth rent or your table rent, your suite rent, and then buy supplies. Then you have to take care of your family and yourself and your bills, and it's very hard. And again, that was the point in my career where I was like, I really I can't do this anymore. Like I need stability, because not knowing what the fuck I'm making this week, it really sucks. And then you have one good week and then you're like, if I could just do that one more time, that would be like, I'll be lit this month. And then the next week, I feel like it's a curse. Like you can't have two magnificent weeks back to back. If you do, then that third one's gonna really suck. This is how it is. It's always gonna be like that. And it just sucks. So do you guys struggle with the financial stuff when it comes to being a nail tech? That's really like something that was very hard. And again, if you are not a nail tech or a beauty professional, entrepreneur even, like it's really hard. It's really, really, really hard. So when I think about certain things, you know, I want certain things in life. I want to be able to save this, that. I want to work more. I feel like when you work more, you don't always necessarily, it's not up to you. It's not up to you to say, okay, I'm going to bust it out again. I'm going to work so many days. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then you end up not even really getting clients. Again, to those like in a shop, or, you know, those that are in a suite, maybe you can even relate. It's just that struggle financially that it's very hard, and I don't think people get. Like, for example, yesterday, this weekend sucks for me. I don't know why. It just is, it's not a good weekend. I think I had 4 people between Saturday and Sunday. I had 4 people. I usually could do like 4 or 5 people on a day. So I was like, okay, great. I'll use the downtime to maybe like film some stuff, catch up. I took a little break in August from social media just to give myself some rest. So I said, whatever, you know, sometimes you acknowledge the break, just take it. Then my morning person canceled. Okay, so now I can just do something else. And to be honest, I just didn't feel like doing anything. I think I was still in break mode and I just didn't do anything. I ended up having one person, and she's the one person that really doesn't do her feet. I need to do my eyeliner first, forgot. She doesn't do her feet, she just does nails. She's more on the simple side. So what did I make yesterday? I made like $80 yesterday. Yay. I mean, I don't want to be ungrateful, but shit. We can't pay bills like that. Like, that doesn't really work. Today is a little bit better, but yesterday was a bad day. And I was even saying to someone, like, damn, I haven't had a day like this in a while, where I just kind of like sat around and really didn't do anything. Again, there was stuff that I could have done, should have done, but I just didn't feel like it. But nonetheless, like, that stuff wasn't what I came here to do. I came here to work. I came here to make money and do nails and stuff. I even like told Deja, like, you know, you don't even need to come in. I already told her when I had 2 people, like, you know, you don't need to come in because I have to pay her to be here. And I can't take away from the little bit that I'm making this day to pay you to be here. So that was yesterday, and it really wasn't fun. It wasn't successful. So again, just that struggle of good week, bad week. It's very tiresome. It gets very boring. It gets played out. It really does. It gets very played out when you want to sit and you want to do something good and do something that you're supposed to be doing, but you're like, I'm just like struggling. Like, you know, you struggle, but you got to push forward. It happens. Like, this is just something that happens, and this is a part of the job as a nail tech. So again, just some thoughts that I was having. Again, as struggling as a nail tech, as an independent person, we want to try to learn how to balance the work life. Work. I say, try to find that balance. Do not get overwhelmed. I see people post all the time. Even people you see on YouTube that are influencers, that are YouTubers and all that stuff. You work. You're going to hit burnout. Then you got to shut it all the way down because you're burnt out. So it's very important to try to find that work-life balance. I try to schedule a day. I don't have a day off, but I try to schedule 1 day a week where when I get home from school, I don't do anything. I don't want to do anything at all. That's something that I do. And in talking to my therapist, I started saying to her that I need to have a time to shut it down. So I have to-do lists that I write every day. So I've been following this top 3 method, and, you know, having 3 things to do to prioritize my day. But sometimes those 3 things, if one of them is editing something, that could take hours. So now every day I shut it down. By 6 p.m., I'm done. No work, no nothing. Get myself situated for the next day. That's it. Prioritize. You have to, because you find yourself overwhelmed, overworked, burnt out, or to the point where you're kind of like hating certain things because you're doing it so much. So that's always been 1. Prioritize yourself. 2, take any little bit you can. Find some way to save. And again, it could be very hard to save, but even if you say, I'm going to take $5 a day and put it to the side, try to save. That's always going to be my advice to you guys, is to save, especially when you're making cash. It's tough. It's tough to save, and not everybody's always in a situation to save. But if you can, I definitely would say try to save something, because you never know when you're going to have that really bad week or month, and that savings might actually help you now. It might not even be savings for the future. It'll help you out, especially as an independent nail tech. And if you're watching this video and you're somebody that is doing nails and struggling, trying to make ends meet, wanting this to be your career, there is absolutely nothing wrong with taking a step back and getting maybe a side job and saying, I'm just going to switch to part-time for nails and I'm going to get that job. Some people feel like, oh, I'm selling out. I'm supposed to be this nail tech. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing that. When in reality, it's like, you got to do what you got to do. If you're able to do nails part-time, take on another job, and now you're able to have a little bit more of a savings, a little bit better with your bills and all that, do what's best for you. Fuck what people have to say and what they think. If nails is something that you are passionate about, there will become a time where this is the only thing that will hold you up and you don't need anything else. But if you need to take a side job, that's fine. If you're afraid to let that job go to pursue nails, wait. You know, you can either jump and try or wait. Plan and plot. I say that. If you're not ready yet to leave your side job for nails all the time, even if you have your customers, I had a student like that. She was just like, I don't know, Miss Keisha, I don't know. I'm like, just wait, you'll know. Plan. Say in my mind, I'm gonna give myself to December. I'm gonna like save up those paychecks because again, that's steady income that I know is coming in. Keep nails, try to balance it out, save it, and then leave. Make your exit. Plan the exit if you're scared to leave that job for nails. If you feel like I could make it, but I'm hesitant or I'm scared to, you can do it like that. So that is just my advice. So that was just some things that were crossing my mind the other day. And I'm like, let me do a video while I get dressed because I'm really like, this is again, I wish I had someone telling me this, and these are the struggles of nail techs, probably lash techs, any beauty professional that's independent. You could definitely like relate. All these thoughts have definitely crossed your mind. If they didn't, they're on their way. But they could cross your mind at some point when it comes to work-life balance and when it comes to struggling financially and just scheduling, all that stuff. It's just, this is the life of a nail tech. So, on that note, I need to get dressed. I'll be right back. Just like that, I'm ready for work. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like more videos of nail tech diaries, get ready with me, set up with me, do something with me while I vent to you. Please leave me a comment below. Do not forget to like this video if you actually like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.